release.
True Opinion Podcast. Hey y'all, welcome to this episode of the True Opinion Podcast. I'm your host, Adontaus, and it's just me. I'm solo. And you know what? Every time I record an episode, especially when I come back after an absence, I'm like, oh yeah, it's gonna be every week. We're doing new things, got a new co-host and blah, blah, blah. You know what? This time, okay, listen. Life is life, okay? Life be really lifing. And y'all know me. I am, a career woman. I'm a speech language pathologist. That is a very demanding career. I work 5 days a week, 40 hours a week. I got 6 kids. I got a husband. I got a house. I got 2 cars. I got a lot of shit going on. And True Opinion, I love it. I love True Opinion, but sometimes it falls by the wayside because it's just so much stuff going on. So I come back with these episodes when I can, and it's not consistent. And I hate that because I love True Opinion. It's really I just really love it. I really love talking to y'all, getting my opinion out there with some facts, maybe. Logic, sure. But I'm back. And we gonna have some fun. And every time we come back, it's gonna be fun. And so there has been tons of shit going on. Kim and Kanye getting divorced and him acting nuts. The slap at the Oscars, Will defending his wife and all the discourse around that happened. I mean, it's just been tons of things, COVID still a thing, vaccinations, masks, no masks. People feel like we're at the end of the pandemonium, the end of the Hayden Panettiere era. But this is neither here or there. You feel how you feel about the pandemic. But what I want to talk to y'all about today is Black men. Because very recently, and by multiple people, I have been accused, little old me, has been accused of hating Black men. Me that is married to a very chocolate, sexy Black man who has 2 African-American sons, has been accused of hating men. Can you believe it? Who did this? Who accused me? It don't matter, because whoever accused me was a liar and stupid. And excuse me for that. But I am here to clear my name, clear some things up, get some things out in the open, because I definitely do not hate men. And let me just put a caveat out here. I am only talking about Black men. I don't know what white men do. I don't know. I ain't never dated one. I ain't never, I don't know what y'all do. I don't know how y'all treat women. I mean, I don't know. I don't follow enough random regular white men on any socials to kind of get a glimpse into the type of stuff they do. So I don't know. And so this is not about them, which is fine. I don't know about them no way. This is not about them. This is about Black men. And I have been accused. My husband has said, babe, I think you kind of have this I hate men thing going on. And I think you are really starting to hate men. So you need to kind of roll it back, kind of chill on it. And I'm like, sir, hatred is there. But, I've been accused by some coworkers and whatever. And I don't care what they think. But, okay, so let me just say this. In honesty, I would say it's some things that I say in private to people would make it seem like I have a seriously negative opinion of Black men. Some may say that I even hate them. But that is completely inaccurate. It's not true. It is a lie from the pit of hell. And what it really is that I am disappointed. I am very disappointed. So we're going to talk about it all. Like, let's get into it. Okay. All right. So let me just start off at the top with I do not hate black men. Full stop. That's it. I don't hate them. I don't hate. I know people say like hate is a really strong word. You shouldn't say you hate somebody, and saying you hate them like kind of gives them kind of like some power over you because you think about it. Yes, I hear all of that. I don't think there's. Is there anybody I really hate? Maybe. Black men as a whole are not in that group though. But I will say that I am completely disappointed. Very disappointed in what I see from black men in reality, in everyday, and also on the internet. Now, this is the thing, and I did an episode on the internet on how it ruins relationships. And I think, perhaps it has contributed to a decline in my thought about black men from what I read on the internet. But I also tell myself, like, listen, hey, the internet is not real. These people on here, some of their opinions may be true. Some of them may not. They just may be saying things to get interaction and clicks, or they just may be like living out a fantasy, or just like, just kind of like saying bogus shit because they are mad, or that's what they feel in the moment. But the point is, I understand that the internet is not real. I understand that a lot of entertainment, things that are produced for entertainment value, aren't real. But I really, in talking to real, actual, with blood in their veins, black men that are, like around, like listening to them talking to them, what's wrong with me? Talking to them. There's a lot that is left to be desired. So I have a little list, and I did label the list why I am disappointed with black men. And number one is you keep blaming women, including your moms. Okay. So, like, what I mean by that, like, my thought process was that, men constantly, it seems, blame women for their shortcomings, and including mothers. And I shouldn't say including your moms, because traditionally, black men seem to be pretty freaking respectful of their moms, which is great. But there's a segment of the population, some of y'all, and then there are y'all that don't include your mom, that talk about like, a woman can't raise a man. And you say a woman, but you mean a black woman. A black woman can't raise a black man. And, all these black boys being raised by single women. Like, I was at work and I heard a guy trying to tell his female coworkers that, like, like being raised by a single mother and not a man, like I didn't learn the mannerisms of a man and how to conduct myself as a man. And, I didn't learn that until I was older, and it impaired and it didn't help me win. And that. And, I was just walking past, and it like irritated the fuck out of me. But I'm glad that a young sister was like, hold up, wait a minute, because I'm finna cut you up. And I had to keep moving, so I couldn't stay and like excuse me. I couldn't stay and listen, but yeah, I think she kind of got him together. I hope she did. And yeah, that's pretty fucked up, because to me, like, there is a lot of, yeah, women can't raise men. A woman can't raise a man. A woman can't teach a black man how to go out into the world and blah, 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 blah. And you know what? Don't get mad at me, women, but I feel like that's true. I don't know what it's like to be a black man. I know what it's like to be a black woman. I don't know what it's like to be a black man. I raised my sons with love and understanding, and I look to my husband to kind of supply the lessons and the things they need to go out into the world and be protected and productive and loving and caring to their family and stand up to the world or whatever. But what I want y'all to understand that it is not the fault of the black woman that we are trying to raise these young black men alone. It's not. Like so many times people, yeah, a woman can't raise a man. Okay. And then they stop right there. That is where the blame lies. And, because single parent households and women can't. Where is the dad? Y'all make families. Some of y'all make, you know what? I don't want to keep equivocating in this episode and saying, oh, some of y'all. So let's just say that from this point on, understand that I'm talking about some, but not all, because I do not believe that everything applies to all, but it applies to some, and it may even apply to a majority. I don't know the statistics, but just understand, I mean, some. Okay, here we go. So yes, some of y'all make families and don't complete them. You don't marry the mom or enter into a lasting binding relationship with the mom where you say, I am going to be here and we are going to raise this child and be positive or whatever. Like, you have a bunch of kids and you move on. You have a kid here, move on. A kid there, move on. And then you want to talk about how black boys need the influence of real black men. And it's like, y'all are leaving. Y'all are the ones that are creating these children and fucking leaving them. So please do not come onto the internet. Do not talk to people in their faces about how black women are failing the community and not raising these boys right or whatever, because the father has left. So what is to be done? What's to be done? Oh, yeah, well, a granddad, a mentor, or this, that, and the other. Like, you don't know what type of support system people have. If you father a child, even if it's with somebody you don't like, you don't know that well, like that is another, that's a whole nother podcast. But if you father a child, you have a responsibility. And then to be like, well, the things didn't work out with the mom, so I'm done. Or I'm going to leave it alone or whatever. That's fucking retarded. And then if you're going to do that, which is already terrible, please do not come on your friend's podcast, your own podcast. Don't get on the internet talking about women and how they can raise men. And that's why guys are so soft, because they raised by all these women. Please get on the internet and talk to your brothers that left their children, that did not stay around to fucking give them whatever masculine energy or lessons or whatever that they needed. Please do not try to vilify the woman that stayed, that is there, that is in the trenches trying to raise this boy in a society that really fucking hates him and hates her too. Hello, black women are the most, no, y'all heard it, most unprotected, most in danger. And then you come here and you impregnate her with a child and then you fucking leave. So you have left the most endangered person in this country with the perhaps second most endangered person in this country. and without any male energy influence with which to raise him. And then you want to blame the woman. And you want to blame her saying, well, she chose the wrong guy. Or why would you have sex with somebody who had a bunch of baby mamas and a bunch of kids? Why would you? Why would you? Why is all the responsibility put on the woman? Why is it not put on the man? Because y'all have gotten so used to not staying. You have gotten so used to the idea that you can come and go that it just leaps over your brain that you are responsible, that you are the problem, that you did not stick it out and did not adhere to your responsibilities. And this child or this partial family is this way because of you. It is much easier for you to blame Black women. And then you come with the, well, my mama. And this brings me to another reason why I'm disappointed with y'all. Y'all have a very false sense of the past. You have a very false sense of, well, mama, not to say that you should not think your mom was a saint and she did everything for you, because most likely she did. But y'all have such a false sense of reality concerning the past that you fucking make it like, oh, this is how things should be. And like, what I mean is like saying that, yeah, back in the day, like my mom was always there when I got out of school. She cooked meals, she cleaned, she did. Your mom was a workhorse. She worked, she cooked, she cleaned, she made sure, she went to school functions, she A, B, C, and D. She did all of this. And where is your goddamn daddy? Where was he? Was he a partner to your mom in the trenches with her, doing all these things like a true partner? Was he helping to cook? Was he helping to clean? Was he helping with homework? Was he helping with laundry? Was he working? Was he grocery shopping? Was he cleaning the bathrooms? Was he doing any of the things that are required to like run a household? Was he nurturing the kids, or did he go to work and come home and just like, yeah, and I'm done because I've went to work and I've come home and I'm finished? Or was your dad, did he have families on the side? Did he have a woman that he was messing with on the side? Like, please be honest about the past. Please ask your parents about the past, because some of you that are out here talking about how your mom did A, B, C, and D and women today don't do that, you don't understand the trauma. You don't understand the pain. You don't know what your parents went through, which is why I am a huge proponent of sharing mental space with your kids. And yes, you have to understand and decide when is the right age, but hopefully I'm not raising any of my kids with delusions of anything other than what is going on in this house. We are a unit. We work together. We have days where I am good, so I can cover everything. We have days when I'm bad and I can't do nothing, and vice versa. We have days when my bad days, my husband covers me. My good days, we work together. His good days, we work together. His bad days, like I got him. Like that is marriage to me, and that is how we run our household. But please, like, understand, if your mom was doing so much, if she was a single mom, she was doing it because your dad bowed out. And please give him the proper anger, attack, or whatever that he requires for that, because that's fucked up. How do you create a child and then leave? Or not be involved, or kind of pop in and out, or whatever, like that. And I understand there are situations, there are women that don't want the man involved, that exclude him. Of course, y'all know true opinion. I equivocate a lot and I understand that there is a whole gray area. Nothing is black and white. But I am strictly talking to those of y'all that think things are. And those of y'all who understand that there are gray areas and choose to ignore them, or you like kind of muck over the gray areas. Yeah, gray area. Okay, 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 okay. You don't explain the gray area that keeps things not black and white or in balance. You don't explain. So this is why, men who walk out on families and then knowing you have walked out on a family, you have a child somewhere that you are not involved with because you just don't want to be, or because your new girlfriend or wife doesn't want you to be, not because, there is drama with the baby mama, she don't want you, she moves, she blah, 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 blah. Please don't give me your excuses. But those of y'all who your kids live in the same city, minutes or hours away, that you are choosing to ignore, that you are like, yeah, let the mama deal with that or whatever, whatever. Like, that's not cool. It's fucked up as fuck. But when you have a occasion to talk, please don't make it seem like it's all the woman's fault, because you're not there. You're not doing what you're supposed to do. Even if you are paying child support. I mean, I did a whole child support episode, and I think I did I do a child support episode like Redux? Like part 2? Like, hey, update? I don't know. Maybe I did. I don't know. But the point is, it's not the single mom's fault. It takes two to tangle, and a single mom is single because a dad has left and chose not to participate. We talking about in situations where the dad has chosen not to participate. So please don't always just blame women. Don't blame single mamas for the condition of these young men that are running around, because where are the men that supplied the sperm that created the baby? They have blame too, because they left. And it's not that, oh, you're a woman, you should have known, or why would you be so stupid to have, please, why would he knew. If he was a liar, he knew he was lying. He knew he was hiding an extra family or other kids, or he knew he had no intention, whether or not he made a baby with this woman or not. He knew if he had no intention of staying around. Like, men know. Y'all, the type of person you are. And if you lay down with a woman and engage in behavior that creates or could create a child, knowing what you know about how you plan to not be involved or be very minimally involved, you are at fault. So please, those of you who do that, please don't get on the internet talking about women and their fault and how they should or what they could have, or it's stupid. And the fault lies with y'all, because you like to say, y'all love to like, y'all niggas who fucking love to vilify women and come on the internet and say all type of crazy shit. Y'all love to talk about how the man's supposed to be the head of the household. He's supposed to be the head of the family. So if the head of the family is making children and he knows he intends to not stay and not really be the head of the family, it seems like it's mostly his fault. So stop blaming women for having sex. Stop blaming women for having sex with fuck ass niggas. Because I tell you what, nobody wants to have a baby by a fuck ass nigga. You think that when you're having a baby, it's with someone genuine and someone who will care for the most part. And when you find out he's a fuck ass nigga, it's a problem. But the thing is, the woman may not have known, but you guys, you men, you know if you a fuck ass nigga. So tell people and stop blaming women, especially moms, for this is why these boys are this way. Single black women calling their sons they king and telling them, yeah, I do anything for them because they are trying to compensate for your stupid, dirty, stanky, stupid ass not being there. It is a overcompensation. And at the time, they don't know whether or not it's right or wrong to do, whether they are doing right by their son. They are just trying to protect him. Like, as black women, we understand the dangers that lie out there for black men, for our husbands, for our sons, our cousins, our dads, our grandpas, uncles. We understand. And so in the home, we try to create an environment where you are loved and you are supported and you know that we got your back no matter what. We give you what you need. It's mitigation. We try to do everything we can to make sure that you turn out the way you should. You know, a respectable, good black man, period, who is working, who is taking care of his family, who is like, just out there doing his thing. That is what most women, that is what they aspire toward when they are raising their sons. And if the way they go about it isn't correct, it's not for y'all men to make them villains for being single moms in the first place. Like, instead of y'all always talking to women about how they should conduct themselves with men or whatever, why don't you talk to men and tell them, like, hey, stop doing this and stop doing that and stop. But y'all won't do that. Like, as an example, like a few weeks ago, Drewski, I believe that's his name. Yes. Drewski made a video. Like, he's like an internet, social media, like, comedian. He is one that, when my husband showed me his videos, I do find them enjoyable and I laugh quite heartily. But he made a video showing how, like, lame guys, like, try to get girls super drunk so they can take advantage of them sexually later in the evening. And apparently there was a lot of backlash, especially from guys. And I think he took the video down. And this is exactly the type of shit that I'm talking about. Because instead of it being a backlash from men like, oh, no, you don't be telling them, don't be doing, it should be like, you know what? The guys that do this is not funny, because the guys that do this are lame and stupid and they're taking advantage of women. And I am glad, bro, that you put this video out. Yeah, in a comedic way, but showing women like the type of shit that niggas be on. And, letting them kind of get a glimpse so they can make smarter choices and decisions when they are hanging out with certain type of guys. And when they are seeing like certain type of behaviors, they know what's coming. But no, males were mad at him. Like, yo, don't be telling them what we do. And to me, it's like, why are you doing that in the first place? Why? There are advantages and disadvantages to me to your sex. And for men, it seems as though, I don't know if it's true, but for one, it seems as though your disadvantage is being ruled by your sex organ. And if you are so mad because you are the type of person that has to coerce and lie and trick and ply a woman with liquor or weed or pills or whatever to get her susceptible enough and get her to drop her guard enough for you to maybe, without her full consent, engage in sexual behavior with her, you are a predator. You are a lame. You are the worst type of person that exists. And because that young man did a skit kind of putting that out there, how guys act, like, y'all got mad at him. Don't get mad at him. Like, say like, yo, this is terrible. This is stupid. And if you got game, like if you're not a lame, if you're not a predator, you don't need to do this. Because understand, there are people that do things like that need to do it because that is how they get off. They get off on not having consent. And they are predators and they need to be removed from the community and probably put into some sort of corrections facility, halfway house, just away from normal, reasonable people. That's that. Stop blaming women. Stop blaming moms and stop blaming women for the state of Black men, because if the dad wasn't there, it's the dad's fault. Okay? It's not the women's fault. You have a false sense of the past. Your mom was so, oh yeah, my mom did A, B, C, and D. Again, where was your dad where your mom had to do all of these things, had to work all these jobs, had to be alone, had to cook dinner, do homework? You don't think your mama was tired? Like you're not mad for her that she had to do all of this, but no, you feel like it is her responsibility. And yes, she took on all that responsibility because your dad left or he wasn't there fully or whatever the case may be. But it is not stupid for you to repeat that pattern. It's for you to say, this is not the type of life I want to have. This is not what I want to do to my wife. This is not what I want to do to the woman I have a child with. I want to be present. I want to be there. It's not for you to incorporate this into your like schema of what normal is. But y'all don't get that. You have a woman that is catering to you, and maybe not even catering to you, just making sure that you're okay, that you have everything that you need, and you feel like you should get that from every woman with little participation, with little back and forth, with little reciprocity on your part. And that's because you didn't see your dad reciprocating anything. That's not right. So like knock that shit off. And it's just like if not you, y'all, some of y'all just do not respect Black women. You don't. You grow up seeing your mom, you grow up with your meemaw, your aunties or whatever. And then when it's time for you to date, y'all just don't respect Black women. You don't. You will dog them out. You will talk about them dirty. You will engage in, support, listen to music, TV shows, like whatever that paint Black women in a negative light. And yeah, I know music is music, but you take it to the extreme where now you want racially ambiguous women. You want a certain type of woman. And while y'all are coming up in your formative years where you are understanding the relationship between men and women, and where you are trying to refine your technique to get pussy, where you are like anything that you're doing, like you practice it on fucking Black girls and women. You practice it on them. And yes, all relationships don't just like, some shit falls apart. Okay, yeah. But you practice all this shit on Black women and then you turn around and you disrespect them. You disrespect them. You go outside your race, which is fine within your purview. Maybe you want to date outside your race. That's great. But date outside your race and then please leave us alone. Don't come to the internet and post negative shit about Black women. Don't retweet it, like it, repost it. Don't engage in it. Don't say why you ain't or whatever. Like, leave us alone. If you choose to not date a Black woman, to not marry a Black woman, just leave us alone. Leave us out of it. Even if you have had not so good experiences with Black women, guess what? They didn't have a good experience with you either. It was not just one-sided. It is a two-way street. If you broke up with somebody, maybe they didn't have the best experience with you either. So it's not for you to go and dog and then drag every black woman down because of your experiences and be like, well, this is why I date outside of my race. Like, that's just stupid. If you like who you like, that's fine. But disqualifying and disrespecting black women in pursuit of you trying to date someone of another race because you think it will raise your stock or, whatever, like, that is shit. Please just leave us alone. I really am of the opinion you can date whomever you want to date. You can love whomever you want to love. That is great and wonderful. The world needs more love. It needs more loving couples. It needs more like families, no matter how they look like, just like loving each other and raising well adjusted, productive kids, the best that they can. But if you choose to, or if you happen to fall in love with whatever, like, leave black women alone. You don't have to justify your decision by fucking tearing somebody else down because that is disrespectful. And if more than likely, you came from a black woman, you have many in your family. If you are a black man and you have a child with someone of another race, chances are they are going to be thought of as black. So you disrespecting black women serves no purpose. It is just mean and cruel for no reason. And it doesn't need to be done. You can love who you love, prefer who you prefer for whatever reason. And then also just kind of like shut up about it. Like, don't drag black women into it. Like, yeah, I date this because y'all are, or I am with this person because of my experience with y'all doing this. Because, sir, if you had a negative experience with a black woman that you feel like drove you to another race, that woman may have had just as negative an experience with you. And whether or not it drove her to another race or not, like, please understand, it's not one-sided. We are not the bad guy. We aren't. But y'all try to paint us as that. And that's like my main, like, the crux of my issue. That is the crux. Like, leave us out of your hatred. Even if you have never had a good experience dating a black woman, like, understand there are millions of other ones in the world, and they are not all representative of your ex that you didn't have a good experience with. And understand that you can have a bad dating relationship or bad experience dating a woman of any color, not just black women, not just. Please stop making us the villain for no reason. Like, every other race and culture has, not every, some people, races, cultures have negative thoughts about us. So we don't need y'all to reinforce it. You can just say nothing negative. Even if you don't want to talk positive about black women, which is shit, you can just not be so fucking negative. Like, that's cool. Stay off of the internet talking shit. Stay off the internet with your fucking opinions. Like, nobody cares, especially when it comes to black women. Like, nobody fucking cares. We don't care. Maybe other people that also want to hate black women care, but then look what you're doing. Look what you're doing. And to those of you who have daughters that are black, if you black, your daughter black, nigga. Okay? So if those of you that have daughters that are black, understand, like, the negativity that you may spout or put out there or whatever, that will affect your daughter in the future. So, like, really just, like, knock it the fuck off. Like, leave us out of shit. If you date whoever you date or whatever, like, Still, please respect Black women. Respect your mama and your grandma. Respect your aunties, your sisters, or whatever. The women that you used to date, your baby mamas. Like, because just please. Just please. And it's just like, y'all don't have this respect because you are so susceptible to like what stereotypes say about black women, what the media says, what rappers say, and just like the way women are treated in media and shit. It's like black women is just like so fucked up. And y'all perpetuate these stereotypes. You listen to these rappers who demean women. And then the thing is, like, they demean black women. And then the women that they date are either famous black women or fucking they date racially ambiguous women. So why are you talking such shit about us? I think, like, at the end of the day, what I want to see from black men is that, like, I want y'all to show up and show out for black women like we do for y'all in any fucking situation. I want y'all to show up and defend and show out for black women when it is a cause of racial injustice. If a black woman is killed by police unjustly, it's all unjust because police shouldn't be just killing everybody. But you know, anything, I want y'all to come out and protest and march. And I don't want you to say like, well, she shouldn't have been. Like, men, y'all find fault with women in situations where they are victimized. And when someone addresses you with the question of, what if it was your daughter, your sister, your mother, your blah, 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 you say, well, it wouldn't be mine. I would teach mine A, B, C, and D. So you think that just stupid, uneducated, untaught women with no male in their lives that loves them and tries to kind of teach them the ways of the world, you think that's how all black women are out here running around just ready to be victims? Like, no. Women that are victimized are daughters, mothers, granddaughters, cousins, nieces, aunts. You know, it's just, it is not a matter of if you are taught well. It's not a matter of if you have men supporting you. Like, women, black women are victimized. And when we are, it would be nice if y'all would stand up for us with no equivocation, with no like, is she the right type of woman? Is she a good woman? Is she an ethical woman? Does she keep her legs closed? Does she not have more than one baby daddy? Does she not have a, you know, like, if y'all just like, stop fucking doing that. Women need to be protected, period. I remember like years ago when the superintendent of CPD, I still lived in the city. His name, I believe it was Eddie Johnson, black man. It was Eddie something. And there was a time in the city where women were going missing. They were being abducted. They were being found murdered. And he held a motherfucking press conference and said something to the effect of like, they were prostitutes or streetwalkers or whatever. You know, just like, this is like isolated stuff. Like, they're just, you know, they're at the edge of society. Like, his press conference led me to believe that he did not care about the women that were missing and or murdered because they lived, quote unquote, a high list. What the fuck is wrong with me? A high risk lifestyle. Namely, they were involved in drugs and or sex work. And that really pissed me the fuck off. And at the time, I was more active on Facebook, and I wrote this long post about how, women, we needed to band together and stand up for each other and take, concealed carry classes and self-defense classes and, give each other rides to work, check in on each other, look out for each other, and stop waiting for men to do it because they didn't care. And that sentiment goes on. It really does, because we women, y'all, we got to look out for each other, because y'all men only look out for women that you personally know and or love, and the ones that you deem acceptable enough to look out for. To me, it does not matter if a woman is involved in drugs or sex work on the street, by escort service, whatever. People are people. We don't know what life circumstances led them to that. There may not have been life circumstances. They may have just chosen, this is what I want to do. And who are we to judge anybody? But the fact that Black women were being preyed upon, were being discarded like trash, were being victimized, that is what spoke to my heart. I don't care what they do in their personal lives, what they have done. It is just because no one deserves to be snuffed out, to have their life forfeit for no reason other than some sadist fucking personal pleasure. And it really disgusted me that the top cop in the fucking city of Chicago got onto television during a press conference and was acting like, oh, it's nothing because they were just sex workers. Well, they were people. And someone loved them or cared about them. And even if nobody loved or cared about them, they are people. And they did not deserve to be treated that way. And it seems as though most men operate with judging women with these sort of fucking caveats or, these standards in their head. You have to be the right type of woman, the righteous type of woman that deserves for a man to defend you and come to your aid or whatever, this fucking damsel in distress. And you have to be so pure and good or whatever. And you can't have done anything ever wrong in your life for someone to stand up and say, you didn't deserve this to happen to you. And that is fucking bullshit. That is fucking bullshit. Because people are people. Black women are people. And Black men as a whole and as a community, y'all need to stand up more for Black women, and not just the ones that you know and that you're on good terms with, but all of them, period, and collectively. I don't think that we're ready to have the conversation about the way that music and media influences y'all to fucking hate us. I don't think y'all ready for that. But think about it, ruminate on it, keep it in your pocket, because that episode is definitely coming. How stupid y'all are to fucking give into that shit. And you maybe want to say, oh, well, you're trying to emasculate Black men and the destruction of the Black male masculine and all this shit. And sir, please knock it off. Knock it off. Because Black women love y'all. We do. And we love y'all because we understand that the life of you, your life, you came through. You slid out of. You were nurtured and cared for and protected for 40 weeks by a Black woman. You slid out of her. She went through the pain to push you out into this world. And we all remember that. We understand it. Even women who have not had children can sympathize, and they have a Black man in their lives that they love. And they go out there and they protest. They fucking get on social media and bring awareness to issues. They do all these things because they sympathize with the fact that this could happen to my son, my cousin, my dad, my granddad, my uncle, my best friends, my boyfriend, my husband, somebody that I love deeply, a black man that I love deeply and truly can be subject to brutality, could be gunned down in the street from a number of places, it's just so much. But please, while we are supporting you and loving you and upholding you and fighting for you and marching and protesting and being jailed and gassed and beaten and all this stuff behind y'all's black asses, please return the favor. Please give us the due respect that when something happens to us, when we are in danger, when things are being said, please listen to this, when other black men are acting in a way that is unbecoming to black women. I'm talking about Trey Songz to y'all celebrity niggas. I know y'all probably won't hear this, but most of y'all regular guys, you have a guy like Trey Songz. Some of y'all have a guy like Trey Songz around you. You know of a guy who takes advantage of women, who takes advantage of young women. You know a guy who treats women wrong. You know a guy who may even force himself on women, that may hit women, that may do any number of things. And you're their friend, you're their loved one or whatever, you should be correcting them. Within y'all's own community, within the community of black men I'm talking about specifically, y'all need to do a better job of policing each other. Y'all need to do a better job of pulling the fucking coattails of niggas that you close with, of black boys that you are responsible for raising, that you have an influence on, and telling them how to treat black women, specifically how to treat black women in private and in public. No matter who they are going to end up dating or marrying, period. Like, you need to do a better job of teaching them how to respect the race of women that is ultimately responsible for bringing them to this motherfucking earth. You know? Like that to me, that's not hard. That's not a hard thing to ask for y'all to do, to just talk to each other and not fucking sweep shit under the rug and stop all this sympathizing and yeah, man, I understand. Because like I got into a conversation with somebody the other day who, you know, very immaturely was like, you know, well, men always get in trouble for hitting women, but what if a woman hits a man? Like, is that fair? And I'm just like, oh, here we go. You know, oh, the law treats men so bad and women get away with. And my response is this. We can collectively say that people, men and women, that are abusive are trash. They are trash, and we should throw them in the garbage, because abuse is not just hitting someone. It is fine. I did an episode on abuse. Go back and listen to it. There are different types of abuse: financial, emotional, verbal, physical, sexual. There's all types of abuse. And I think that we can just kind of lump all the abusers together, men and women, and just say they're trash. We throw them in the garbage. Those of us that do not engage in abusive behavior with romantic partners, with people, period, shouldn't be abusing anybody. But those of us that don't engage in abusive behaviors, like, we don't have to understand abusers. That's not us. So this whole conversation of, is it right if a woman does and a man gets in trouble? Like, to me, that's irrelevant, because man or woman, if you abuse people, get the fuck out of here. Those of us that don't abuse people, we don't have to try to sympathize. Like, and I think the sympathy comes from, especially on the part of men. Like, if you hear a story where like a guy like oh, he slapped a girl. He fucking grabbed her up. He pushed her or whatever. Or, even more situations of violence and not respecting boundaries or whatever. I think a lot of men try to sympathize with those abusers or just criminals because they feel like, oh, well, anybody can lose their temper. Or, if you take a woman out and, you spend all this money or whatever and y'all get back and she into it and then she say no, like, yo, that's fucked up. Like, who wouldn't want to keep going? Like, excuse me, sir, that's rape. You can't keep going when somebody withdraws consent. But the point is, like, men that don't engage in those behaviors seek to identify or give excuses for those like that do those things or those behaviors or stories that they hear because they feel like this is an everyday situation. Like, I could lose my temper and hit someone, or I could be caught up in the moment and we're into it and she says no and I'm just like, I'm naked, I'm hard, I'm there, I'm ready. And it's just like, yo, I'm just gonna go. And you defend those terrible behaviors because you feel like it could happen to anybody. Oh my God, it could happen to me. And I will want somebody to understand me and extend me grace. Or if you got some secrets, it probably already happened to you. And you feel like, I don't want nobody to find out. And if they do, I want them to understand my point of view. I want them to extend me grace. But the reality is, if you have already done it, you're already a bad person. You're in that you're a bad person. Get that what you did was fucking terrible, and we're gonna throw you into the pile of throwaway people. But if you have not done things like that, you don't need to sympathize with people who do things like that because you're probably not gonna do it. You're probably not gonna do it. And then here I am, even still, as I'm trying to drag you fucking niggers across the coals, I'm still trying to defend you as saying like, if you do something like that, whatever consequences that befell you, you navigate those consequences, you accept responsibility. Like, yeah, we shouldn't think of you as a bad person forever because of one thing. And my upbringing, my thoughts, because I am married to a Black man and raising two Black sons, I still kind of equivocate. Like, oh, but if it was a mistake and you're really sorry, you never do it again, it's okay. It's like, please understand, y'all have all the sympathy, the grace. People will extend you whatever you need. They will try to help you. But I'll say that since Cook County has been broadcasting criminal court procedures from the Leiden courthouse in 26 California, I have been watching. At this point, it's the end of April 2022. I think this started in 2020. So I've been watching since I think I discovered it in mid 2020, mid pandemic, when they first started doing Zoom court appearances until now. And even now, most judges have stopped broadcasting their Zooms, and I'm down to just two in bond court or whatever. In all of the court proceedings I have watched, and it has been hours and hours and hours and hours. When, overwhelmingly it's Black men who are defendants, right? Often there are family members, usually female family members of these defendants. Their sisters, their moms, their cousins, their grandmas. They are always on the Zoom. They're trying to come to court, whatever, trying to support them. There has only been one female defendant who I have seen whose mother has consistently been there to watch what's going on with her court proceedings and be involved or whatever. Just one. But men, almost all the time there is somebody either on the Zoom, like in the meeting, or their lawyer will say, you know, they're such and such is listening to the YouTube live stream. And it's like, men get supported no matter what y'all do. Murder, rape, molest, like no matter what. Y'all are supported. Robbery, fuck it, whatever crime. Women is just like, it's well, she should have done it. You know, and I don't know if that's what their families think, but I would, again, overwhelmingly, as someone who has watched an insane amount of court proceedings on YouTube, overwhelmingly in Cook County during criminal court proceedings, male defendants are more supported than female defendants. I don't know what that means, except to say that women need to be supported more. And then the crime, like men, like got Cook County, Chicago, and the surrounding suburbs, like these niggas be killing people. And they mamas, aunties, sisters, getting them lawyers still there, like, I'm here for my son, I'm here for my brother, my baby daddy, my husband, my whatever. Female defendants just be out there on their own, nobody to support them. Hardly ever have a private attorney, even though public defenders are doing God's work and are amazing. But it's just, please, man, please. So this is, for this episode, this is what I want to leave y'all with. 1, I don't hate black men. I'm disappointed in y'all. 2, you need to support black women more. Stop tearing them down in the media. Stop tearing them down in music. Date whomever you want to date. I don't care. Like the politics of interracial date. Well, I don't fucking care. Date whoever you want to date. But because you choose to date somebody from another race does not mean that you have to cut down or demean black women or talk about why you won't date them no more because they are A, B, C, and D. Like, whether it's true or not, like, just shut up. Nobody cares. Like, it's not cool to fucking try to get clicks, engagement, or whatever by fucking talking shit on black women. And that's just it for this episode. I'm sure there'll be much more. But please just like understand, like, black men, y'all would not be here without the sacrifices, the prayers, the money, the support, the whatever of likely 1 to 3 black women. So when you talk shit about black women as a whole, or you don't defend us, or you just go out of your way to be stupid, stanky, and abusive to black women, like, you are disrespecting your elders, your mama, your mima, your grandma, your whoever prayed for your ass to keep you alive, to get you to the point where you at. You're disrespecting them. And just knock it the fuck off. Knock it off. That's it. Just like really just knock it off. Let's just do better. Do better by black women. I don't hate black men. I just really need y'all to do better by black women. And maybe y'all want to take my unequivocal, undying support of black women as hatred of black men. And that is stupid because I can love you both. But y'all need to give me a reason to love you. And just for anybody out there who's thinking that, like, well, women be out here doing A, B, C, and D. I want you to think about the years, the decades, the generations of abuse that we have suffered at the hands of black men and white men and black women, but specifically black men. And think about the psychic trauma that may have caused us as a whole, and be sympathetic to it, because we think about that for y'all niggas. We do. And we try to be your peace, but you don't want peace. That's the thing. Y'all don't want peace. You be my peace. You don't want no peace. You want drama. You want fucking you don't want peace. So okay. Let's try to end this on a positive note. I feel like one thing I love about the community that I am seeing, it seems as though more people, young people, older people, are entering into marriage and creating families. And hopefully, those are nice, healthy families. Like, I feel generally positive about the state of the Black community as a whole. But I am very troubled about the way still some Black men treat Black women. Like, overwhelmingly, it's abysmal. And y'all really need to get your shit together. And then once you get your shit together on that front, which will probably never happen, so we're going to have to work on multiple things at once. Like, we really need to talk about homophobia and transphobia because y'all fucking tripping, and people are people are people. But I don't think you're ready for that quite yet. So I'm going to leave it here. Finally, again, let me reinforce, I don't hate Black men. I love y'all. You have such potential, and I want you to do better, and I want you to stop falling into the trap of hating Black women or disrespecting Black women, because it does not serve this community. It does not serve to make us better. It does not serve to make us one. It just makes y'all look like assholes to us. All right? So knock it off. That's it. All right. So this has been True Opinion. Honestly, I'm going to try very hard to get a husband to join me for like the part 2 of this episode. Hopefully we can get it done soon. Because I would like to hear what he has to say in response to some of the things I have to say. Even though like we've talked about this, I would like to get it on the podcast. But if not, then I'll be back with a part 2, perhaps, maybe, when, at some point. And then you'll get more of my fucking true opinions about how you need to act and how you need to respect Black women, because truth is, we the shit and we the cradle of civilization. All right, y'all. That's it. Bye.